Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. I'm joined here in the studio by Horatio, Martha, and Frank. Correction, those are just my imaginary friends because the studio is empty. But we do have our friends over Skype, and that is Ken, Matt, and Jeff. Let's start with Ken. How are you doing today?
You've been talking to yourself a lot, Neal?
Oh, yes.
I mean, more than usual?
I'm in between Tom Hanks and Wilson, and I don't know what the more extreme version of that would be, but yeah, I'm talking to myself, but I'm getting through.
Okay, well, whatever it takes.
And I see you shaved. You have a big mustache right now.
Yeah, I kept the mustache, but I decided to start a nice fresh beard. It's nice to start over every now and again. And since I've got at least a month to go, now is the best time. Nice.
Well, it looks good. You can get a Hawaiian shirt, maybe a Detroit Tigers hat, and then just find that Ferrari you've always wanted, and you're basically Tom Selleck.
All right. Thanks.
And above him in the Skype feed is Matt. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Neal?
Doing all right. I see. Is there a White Claw there or no?
Oh, always. I'm not working. I don't know what to do with my time. So it's White Claw time all the time.
I guess that's what that tower behind you is that you've been building with White Claws.
Yeah, it's going to be my fortress once society falls apart.
There you go. Well, thank you for joining us. And then last but not least, of course, is Jeff. How are you doing, Jeff?
I don't know why I get of course, but I'm doing pretty well. How are you, Neal?
I'm doing all right. Jeff has been working in the medical field, which is, I'm sure, is a little bit more stressful than some other people's current positions, but hopefully you're staying safe, Jeff?
Yep, trying to, using PPE and trying to stay out of people's way. And I'm choosing to do things on purpose to socially isolate myself at work because I have a little bit of flexibility in my role, so we'll see.
That's the way you would prefer it anyway, is to be by yourself. So
Neal said you work in a medical field, but I don't think that's exactly correct.
I mean, you work
in a hospital doing non-medical.
That is true, yes.
Not on the front lines.
No, not even close.
I didn't realize we had a special guest, Chris Hansen, here showing up the facts.
I mean, I don't mean to take the out of Jeff or anything, but
no, it's totally
fair.
A little
bit.
Just want to be accurate.
Well, depending on how things go here in the next few weeks, we might have to take the out of Jeff because we're going to be out of water. But we'd love to introduce our special guest. She's hosting today. You've remembered her from Game of Thrones bonus episode. We had such a wonderful time hanging out with her during Geek Bowl and at Extravaganza, and she made a special trip out to Chicago not too long ago. We had a ton of fun. But that is our United States champion on Patreon, Kelsey Barcomb. How's it going, Kelsey?
Good. How are you?
Good. What have you been up to since our big sardines in a can event?
Well, I'm a biomedical scientist, and I still have some work to do in the lab to keep things going. But otherwise, I've just been analyzing data from home and doing a lot of the live streaming trivia that everyone's been producing lately.
Yeah, that stuff's really amazing. Good job to everybody who's taken the helm and done the live streaming. I just want to give everybody a shout out.
Yeah, Ken, you hosted one, right?
I co-hosted one with Jason from Liquid Courage. I know a lot of other people are doing them too, so thanks for keeping everybody entertained.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Just a few off the top of our head. I think Lee George had the Broken Buzzer Invitational. Russ Friedewald, I believe, has Trivia Workshop. There's a bunch of other ones, but yeah, as Ken said.
Jeremy's doing the Jackbox things.
Yeah.
Jeremy Goodson, I believe.
Yeah, so there's a ton online right now for people who aren't able to go out to the pub. And Kelsey, you actually joined us for pub trivia not too long ago.
I did.
And I can't remember if we won or not. I think we put up a good fight.
We did win, yes.
We did win. Okay, so it was all because of you then is what we're going to lead with.
I don't think I contributed much, but I'll take the victory.
Good. Well, you wrote a game for us today. It's in our normal format. So before we throw it to you, let's pick our team names. Matt, you and I were talking about how excited we are for WrestleMania to come up. I mean, they're still having it, which is kind of a concern, but there's going to be no audience members. So it's going to be like art house theater. And I guess because we are seeing it as art house theater with no audience, normally two people fighting, Matt and I are going to be waiting for Macho Man.
Okay. I did see a video of the wrestlers doing their thing without any audience, and it's crazy. But since you picked something with long, rambling monologues, I'll go ahead and pick a team name for Jeff and I for one of my favorite directors, who also does long, rambling monologues and dialogues, and that's Tantan Quarantino.
Hey, there you go. All right. Well, if you guys are going to be that, make sure you guys kick up your feet, and let's throw it to the rules guy and see how he's doing.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop. The cream of the crop!
Wow, that Quentin Tarantino impression was pretty spot on. He sounded like he was on a cocaine bender and talking very fast.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Kelsey, thank you for joining us today, and we're super excited, so feel free to take the wheel and drive.
All right. For question number 1, your category will be, this should be a 50-50 question. In a famous scene from the classic movie, Dude, Where's My Car?, the 2 main characters realize that they have each gotten upper back tattoos. What word is tattooed on Ashton Kutcher's character?
I think I know this one, Matt, if you want to lock in, let Jeff and Ken talk.
All right, so one of them was dude, and one of them was sick or bro or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's a classic film. I can't bring it to mind.
It must be like dude and bro, right?
But let's go ahead with dude.
Yeah, Matt texted me, and he had the right instinct on this one. I don't know too much about back tattoos, if they hurt or not, or how long they might take. But I believe Matt is correct, so we also went with dude.
You guys are both correct. One of them said dude, and the other actually said sweet. But
Sweet.
Ashton Kutcher's character was dude.
Yeah, that was like the big part of the trailer was just them 2 back and forth. Going, what's mine say? Dude, sweet. And that's all I remember about the movie in general. And I guess the car, isn't it like parked across the street? Has anyone seen it?
It's very close.
Spoilers, man. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Take it easy.
I know people are watching a lot of movies during the quarantine, but if you've made it to Dude, Where's My Car? I
feel like the statute of limitations is finally up on that movie. So
I saw that movie in the theater. So there you go. Matt almost throws up his White Claw. Okay.
Question number 2, the category is athletes on TV. The 3rd season of Westworld recently debuted, introducing a number of new characters, including Giggles. Giggles is portrayed by what NFL running back who was drafted in 2007?
Oh, Matt, I didn't know this one because I haven't seen the new season yet, but I saw the article when they hired him, so I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
I don't remember seeing anything about Westworld. The only person I know who was drafted in 07 was AP. Pretty sure Adrian Peterson was 07. Trying to think if there's anybody else in that draft.
I mean, let's just go in with that. We have no idea. So
yeah, we can lock in with Adrian Peterson.
I think Peterson was 06, to be honest.
Yeah, Matt would know better than I would on that. Matt and I had the same thought. I haven't seen the new season. I actually haven't watched the 2nd season. I really enjoyed the first one. But I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine the other day, and this same athlete was on that show. And when I looked up what else he had done, I saw that he was signed on to the show, and I believe it's Marshawn Lynch.
It is Marshawn Lynch.
There we go.
Oh,
waiting for Macho.
Waiting for Macho.
I was to say, does his SAG contract require his payment in Skittles?
Probably.
All right, question number 3. The category is nerd. The titular aardvark on the TV show Arthur has what PBS-approved last name?
Oh, why can't I remember this?
Oh, no.
Wow. Every time I see that gif of Arthur holding his fist really angrily.
Yeah, I love that one.
I think of Ken because he likes it, and then that's what I think of when I see it.
Okay, we're locked in because Neal doesn't know, and I have a guess.
All right, well, I really don't know, Jeff. So if you want to just guess, his last name is Aardvark, but something's in my brain, but I'm not going to get to it. So
Yeah, I think his last name goes along with having fun not being hard if you have a library card, because I believe his last name is Reed.
That is correct. His last name is Reed.
that's
Wow.
right.
Nice job, Matt. I had no idea on that one.
I used to watch so much Arthur, and I was way too old to be watching Arthur at the time, but my sister would be kind of in the room, so I'd be like, we're watching Arthur, but I would just watch it. It's a good show.
I think I'm a little too old now, but I guess if we're running out of content, we could all just get really into Arthur.
There you go. I'm sure there's going to be a subreddit of Arthur with theories and all that.
It's a big Yo-Yo Ma story arc, which is important. So,
Question number 4. The category is adorable facts. The late Roderick Toombs may have known that a group of corgis is known as a what?
You just want to say court?
Sure. A court of corgis.
Okay, they're in with Court of Corgis.
right. Yeah, I mean, I just looked up a bunch of these because I was writing questions. And I learned that a group of lemurs is a conspiracy, which doesn't help this question at all. But that was the thing that I took from it.
How about a battalion? I don't know.
I'm a little disappointed in you guys. Roderick Toombs is Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Oh, I knew it.
And a group of corgis is a rowdy.
I love that. Especially, I want to see someone find a picture of a bunch of corgis wearing kilts.
That shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Question number 5. Category is hashtag IWDFCFTBATK. What foodie magazine's test kitchen includes personalities such as Claire Saffitz, Brad Leone, and Molly Baz, who have recently gained viral fame thanks to the success of their YouTube channel, and in particular a segment called Gourmet Makes?
Jeff, go ahead and lock in with whatever you think.
For the record, Jeff did find a picture of a corgi in a Irish kilt.
Oh, boy. That was on Jeff's bookmarks.
His favorites.
Yeah. So
you guys are locked in?
Yeah.
Top Chef magazine?
Yeah, I guess. Do you want to go yeah. How about, I liked your name, Tipsy Bartender. Do you want to go with that?
Okay, sure. Locked in.
The only one that I know of that's a gourmet magazine is Food and Wine. So we said Food and Wine.
All right, we again have no points. If you could maybe puzzle out the last 4 letters. It's a hashtag that is used by fans of Gourmet Makes, which stars Claire Saffitz, and it stands for I Would Die for Claire from the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen.
Oh.
So Claire is a pastry chef, and she makes junk foods like Cheetos and Gushers and Pop Rocks, but in her gourmet kitchen setting. So she has to figure out how to make those industrially produced products in a gourmet manner.
I know why that's familiar now, because on John Oliver, he mentioned her with making Pop-Tarts, I think.
Yes. She did make Pop-Tarts.
That's right. So that's where I knew it from. So after 5, looks like Waiting for Macho has 30 points. And how about you over at, what is it, Tenton Quarantino?
Tanton Quarantino. So we only have 10.
All right. So we got 30-10. Feel free to continue, Kelsey.
Okay, question number 6. The category is Latin acronyms. Prescription drug labels often use Latin-based acronyms, such as IV when a drug should be taken intravenously. How should you take a drug labeled PO, as in puppy otter?
Well, I know Jeff and I take quite a bit of medicine, so let's see if we can figure this out.
Jeff, the best I can kind of think of here is the O would mean orally, but
that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, how many other ways can you think to take it? And I don't think it's any of the
I could
other
think
ways.
of one more, but
yeah, I don't think it's that way.
But let's just lock in with orally.
I mean,
Could be orifice.
Well,
It could be.
Which orifice, Matt?
Well, that's what the P is.
do you want to do? What if we just lock in orally, and then we'll see if Kelsey makes us be more specific?
That's probably, I think it's wrong, but we can lock in with that, sure.
Okay.
Okay, you are correct. It is orally.
Oh.
So
what is the P?
PO stands for per os, which translates to by the way of the opening. The opening being your mouth.
So orifice was kind of right too.
It's usually recommended that medical professionals just write orally because people generally don't know what PO means.
And it's a little weird.
All right. Question number 7. The category is sports movies. In August 2019, the MLB announced they would host a Field of Dreams game at a temporary ballpark in Iowa. What 2 teams are set to be playing?
Oh, I did know this.
So Matt and I are typing back and forth on what we think the teams in Field of Dreams were. And I think we're going to lock in.
I have no idea, so let's just say the Cubs and Sox. Crosstown Classic.
All right.
Yeah, I remember making the joke when I saw it that the White Sox would be playing in front of the same amount of fans if they played at an open field as they normally do at their home games. So I'm pretty sure the White Sox is one of them. And then I sent Yankees, and Neal agreed, so we said White Sox and Yankees.
That's correct. It is the White Sox and the Yankees.
Nice. Yeah, I think I remember.
We got halfway there, surprisingly.
So, yeah, you had Shoeless Joe Jackson was Ray Liotta. And then when Matt said Yankees, it made sense because Kevin Costner's dad, who's the catcher, I believe he's wearing a Yankees jersey. And I only know that because you never forget scenes that make you cry every time. So there you go. Sad.
All right. Question number 8. The category is geography. A Pomeranian can be best described as a Borking floof from the region of Pomerania. Name either of the 2 countries where you would find the region of Pomerania.
Oh, dear.
We'll lock in if you guys want to talk out loud.
Sure. Do you think this is the Asian continent?
No, this sounds European to me.
All right, we'll pick 2 bordering European countries at random.
Okay. We'll go Spain and France.
Yeah, so we just kind of thought maybe it sounds Scandinavian, possibly. So we said Sweden and Netherlands.
So Neal and Matt were closer. It is on the Baltic Sea, but it is in Germany and Poland.
Ooh.
The Pomeranian is a variant of the German Spitz.
Okay.
Oh,
cute dog.
Related to Mark or no? Someone got that
the
joke.
Original breeder.
He's the original Spitz.
Yes.
I love all the dog questions. Thank you for. We don't have too many ever, so thank you for bringing that to the show.
I almost wrote a whole, I should say, I did write a whole swing round on geography, but then I remembered that just because it's fun for me doesn't mean it's fun for everyone. So I changed it. But maybe someday.
Yeah, you should come back and the game will be called Kelsey Let the Dogs Out.
All right, question 9. The category is more German stuff. Neuschwanstein Castle, which is often referred to as the Sleeping Beauty Castle, was dedicated to the life and work of what composer? Much of the castle's interior design is inspired by the composer's operas.
We're locked in.
Yeah, I've been to there, so we're locked in.
Oh, have you now?
That's how I know about this. From Ken.
So
Okay.
German composer.
Right, you got your Brahms.
So I sent you Brahms right away because that was the first one that popped in my head.
You got your Wagner. You got your Hans Zimmer. You got Brahms or Wagner. I feel like Brahms.
I don't know, but if Ken locked in right away, he's a big Wagner guy. I remember he answers that for a lot of questions when he doesn't know the answer.
That's true. That is good game theory.
I feel like saying
Well,
Ken's
when
a
you're
Wagner
looking
guy
for-
has connotations.
No, it doesn't.
I'll leave it to you, Matt. We've been doing pretty good so far. So do you want to go Brahms or Wagner?
Yeah, I think Brahms was the first thought, so let's stick with it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Wagner, guys.
Ken is correct. It is Wagner.
Yeah, so the king at the time was a big Wagner fan, and he was filled with fantasies. So he built this like bizarre fantasy palace, and he had Wagner come live with them. And there's probably some hanky panky going on.
Yeah, it's a really interesting story.
It's crazy. It's
he blew
awesome.
all his money on the castles, and then his cabinet conspired against him to depose him and took him into custody, and then he died by mysterious circumstances.
Very mysterious.
Wow. I've been watching Tiger King recently, and it sounds like that could be its own miniseries.
Yep.
All right, question number 10. The category is gross. The title character of what video game, billed as a pick-and-flick adventure, was awarded Grossest Character by Electronic Gaming Monthly in 1994? This character's abilities included fighting enemies with burps and rocketing through the air using flatulence.
We're elected.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
I think this is well, now I'm not sure.
It's not Earthworm Jim, right?
Yeah, I know that is a gross one, but I know but if it's just one character, because I originally thought Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh yeah, that is gross.
That is right when Earthworm Jim came out. So I think we can lock in with Earthworm Jim.
Okay.
All right, guys. I rented this from the store when I had my Sega Genesis back in the day. I remember the tagline was, "He thinks he's a hero, but he's snot." And it's Booger Man.
Ken is correct. It is Booger Man.
Oh, never would have got there.
I've never even heard of that.
There was a Kickstarter campaign in 2013 to bring it back, but
Of course there
People
was.
have been really clamoring for more Booger Man.
it unfortunately only reached about a tenth of its goal. So
Yeah,
Those are so sad. Those Kickstarters for like that the producers are like, people want this, and then they raise like $700. Oh, rough.
After the first round, it looks like Tenton Quarantino has 40 points, and Waiting for Macho has 50 points. So right before we throw it to Kelsey for the swing round to see what she has in store, just wanted to let everyone know to join us over at the Crop, where you can interact with people just like Kelsey, who are pretty active on there. And it's always fun to interact with all the other listeners of the show, and also sign up for guesting or hosting, which we will have quarterly sign-up forms over there. So just make sure to kind of join the Crop and hang out with us. It's a fun time over there. And if you don't want to go in the Crop, or you do, hit us up on Instagram at TrivialityPod and see some pictures that Matt posts, maybe at like 2 a.m. Right, Matt?
After 10 White Claws, you're right.
There you go. Kelsey, what do you have in store for us today for the swing round?
all right, the swing round is on musical samples. For each question, I'll give you a song title, and you have to identify the artist that was heavily sampled in that song. For example, if I said Anaconda by Nicki Minaj, you would say Sir Mix-a-Lot. And just for clarity, all of the samples are pervasive enough that the songwriter for the original song also received songwriting credit on the new song. So they're all samples heard throughout rather than just a quick reference.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Number 1, Wild Wild West by Will Smith. Number 2, Fantasy by Mariah Carey. Number 3, Mo Money, Mo Problems by Notorious B.I.G. Number 4, Can I Kick It by A Tribe Called Quest. Number 5, Rapper's Delight by Sugar Hill Gang. Number 6, You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. Number 7, I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy. Number 8, Beautiful Girls by Sean Kingston. Number 9, Clumsy by Fergie. And number 10, You Need 2 Answers. And the song is All Summer Long by Kid Rock.
Okay, all of our answers are now locked in, so we'll go back to Kelsey to hear the clues one more time, and we'll give our answers.
Okay, number 1 was Wild Wild West by Will Smith.
But yeah, this one I'm almost 100% sure. I believe it's Stevie Wonder.
And Jeff, we did not have this one, right?
No, we did not.
So we said Celine Dion.
It is Celine Dion.
Oh.
No, it's obviously Stevie Wonder. The song is I Wish.
I knew it was Stevie Wonder for 100%, but when you said Celine Dion, I was like, oh my God, I was wrong. You convinced me.
She is Wiki Wild Wild.
There you go.
Number 2 is Fantasy by Mariah Carey.
This one, Matt and I, we know this song very, very well. I used to listen to Butterfly on repeat, but I could not think of who it would sample. So we just picked someone from that era, from like the 70s. We think a lot of these are 70s inspired. So we said Gloria Gaynor.
We said whoever did that song from The Neverending Story.
So this is actually a sample of the song Genius of Love from the Tom Tom Club, who was a offshoot of the Talking Heads.
Oh, yeah. It's a good song.
It's probably one of the harder ones, but I really like the original song and the Mariah Carey version. All right, number 3, Mo Money, Mo Problems.
Yeah, we know the sample is the songs I'm Coming Up or I'm Coming Out, something like that. We're not 100% sure on the artist, but we said Donna Summer.
Yep. We definitely know that it's I'm Coming Out. And I think you're close, Matt, but I think it's Diana Ross.
It is Diana Ross.
Yeah.
Number 4, Can I Kick It by A Tribe Called Quest.
Yep. Love hip hop. Tribe is one of my favorite groups. I'm pretty sure this is Lou Reed.
And this is another one that we had no idea about, so we said Britney Spears.
It is Lou Reed. Number 5, Rapper's Delight.
This one, again, we weren't really sure. We know that Rapper's Delight's late 70s, early 80s, so we just picked a band that was making music before then and said the Bee Gees.
Yeah, the bass line kind of sounded like Another One Bites the Dust to us. I don't think it's that, but we're going to say Queen.
So this samples the song Good Times, which is by Chic.
Okay, yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, number 6, You Can't Touch This.
Pretty sure this one is Rick James.
Yep, we thought it was Super Freak and Rick James.
Points all around. It is Rick James. Number 7, I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy.
Wait, Matt, take your time with this one.
Yeah. I believe Sting actually sang this on the stage at one of the VMA Awards with Puff Daddy and everyone. So we said The Police.
Jeff, we didn't have this one, right?
No, we had The Police. This is Every Breath You Take. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Correct. It is The Police. Number 8, Beautiful Girls by Sean Kingston. I think this is probably another hard one.
Yeah, I know the song really well. We couldn't pull it. We just know that there's sort of a Motown beat in the background. So we said, let's just go with a Motown group. So we said the Temptations.
And we said the soundtrack to Oklahoma.
So this is actually a sample of Stand By Me, which is by Ben E. King. All right, number 9, Clumsy by Fergie.
Oh, yeah. This one, again, not sure. Know the song, but couldn't get there, so we just said Blondie.
And I think we also didn't know this one, so we said the Marine Choir.
Well, Clumsy samples Girl Can't Help It, which is by Little Richard.
Girl Can't Help.
And finally, number 10, arguably the worst song on the list, All Summer Long by Kid Rock.
Not arguably.
Yeah, not arguably. This one I know definitively. I think Leonard Skinner, and then we were trying to think of the name of the guy who does the Werewolves of London. I think it's Wolfman Jack, but that's what we officially locked in with, Wolfman Jack and Leonard Skinner.
That is the second song.
It's Warren Zevon in that case.
Yeah, but
we only had Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your powers combined, you got the two. It's Leonard Skinner and Warren Zevon.
After the swing round, it looks like Tenton Quarantino has 55 and Waiting for Macho has 70. So, let's go right into round 2. That was a great swing round, Kelsey.
All right, round 2, question number 1 is in the category of food. Tahini is a puree of what plant product, which Mitch Hedberg wondered why we never let grow?
We are locked in.
Do you
Are
know
you
this?
locked in through the Mitch Hedberg? Or through actually knowing what tahini is?
I'm locked in 2 ways.
Okay.
I've seen people use tahini that Ken and I know, but I don't know much about Mitch Hedberg. My only Mitch Hedberg is from Phil, and Phil knows it like by heart, but I don't think I've actually ever listened to Mitch Hedberg other than through Phil. So
I think he has a bit on asparagus and how it's just a stalk and you eat it as it's just a stalk. Why don't you let it grow? That sounds familiar. I don't know if that's right. I could just be making it up.
that's more than I have, though.
But yeah, I guess we can lock in with asparagus then.
Okay.
The question that was really on Mitch Hedberg's mind, though, is what the is a sesame? So sesame seeds.
Got it there. It is sesame seeds. All right. Question number 2. The category is TV. What actor first played an FBI agent on Twin Peaks, though he is much better known for his twice Emmy-nominated performance as an altogether different FBI agent?
All right, Jeff, I think we can lock in here.
Okay.
All right, okay, so they're locked in. So, Matt, I think I'm trying to think of the second reference. Kyle MacLachlan is the main guy on Twin Peaks.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to think if he was an FBI agent in anything else.
Was there any other actors on?
I mean, he played Charlotte's husband on Sex and the City, but I don't think he was an FBI agent on that. No, he played tennis and stuff. I'm trying to think. Laura Dern, was she in the? She was in David Lynch's Blue Velvet. No, I'm not sure. The only one I know definitively that's on it is Kyle MacLachlan. David Lynch was on it, but I couldn't tell you what he played on that show because I can't remember other than him, creating it.
Right. I guess we can lock in with Kyle MacLachlan then.
Okay.
That's fine.
I got equally as far in my reasoning, so we said Kyle MacLachlan.
It's actually David Duchovny.
Oh.
So David Duchovny played the transgender FBI agent Denise Bryson in Twin Peaks, and then was, of course, Fox Mulder in The X-Files. All right. Question number 3. The category is Dirty Dancing. So I think the last time I was on the show, other than Game of Thrones, I said that my favorite Patrick Swayze film is Dirty Dancing. Mm-hmm. So I thought it would be appropriate to ask a Dirty Dancing question. In an intimate moment between Baby and Johnny, Baby reveals that her real name is Frances for the first woman in the cabinet. This refers to Secretary of Labor Frances Perkins, who was summoned to the cabinet by which U.S. president?
Okay, so the family in that movie is conservative. So I'm thinking they probably want to honor a president who kind of upholds those values. So, but it would be kind of early, I think. So maybe like Eisenhower.
I thought it was before Eisenhower. I don't think it was like. For some reason, my gut goes FDR on this one.
You can go however you want.
I'm feeling FDR on this one. If you're okay with me going that way,
that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So Matt had said Ford, but if you're a fan of Dirty Dancing, like I am, like Kelsey is, the movie takes place in like 1963. Baby is pretty young; she's almost an adult. So I was thinking if it was like 1963, she was admiring someone who had been in the cabinet prior. There was probably someone in history books for like a few years, and so we guessed FDR because she would have been around a while.
All right, points all around. It is FDR.
Wow, good
job, Jeff.
So she is the longest serving Secretary of Labor because she served for the entirety of the Franklin Roosevelt presidency.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
All right, question 4. Your category is baseball. In 2005, an MLB pitcher was arrested in his home country of Venezuela for attempted murder, ending his Major League Baseball career. His first and last initial are the same letter, and he is the only person in MLB history to have those initials. What are his initials?
We can lock in, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I trust you. I thought maybe I'd get something from the clue, but I couldn't pull anything.
Jeff, I'm not familiar with the...
I don't know this one at all.
But do you want to say like QQ or YY or ZZ or something like that?
Sure. I mean, any of those seem reasonable to me.
All right, let's go QQ.
Only a couple letters off there, actually. This guy was a pretty big closer, really through. He had a good fastball. I believe it's Oogie or Bina, so it's UU.
That is correct. It is UU. He ended up serving 7 years in prison for allegedly using a machete and gasoline to attack 5 workers on his property. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Andy Saunders, who I sent this question to. And I was like, I have no idea if this is an easy question or a hard question or is even factually correct. So he said that it
just right.
Yeah, he said it would probably play hard, but it was a fair question.
And he's a big baseball guy, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, thank you, Andy.
Okay. Question number 5. The category is exercise. The Sanskrit term Adho Mukha Svanasana is most commonly translated as what in English?
So they're locked in exercise related. You wrote yoga. Adho Mukha. So three words possibly. I'm just trying to think of something exercise related that's like.
Yeah, I was trying to think of it in the Sanskrit terms. That'd be something that would probably originate then. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I thought maybe it would originate out of the Middle East or in Eastern philosophies. So that's why I said yoga.
Yeah, and I don't think it wouldn't be namaste because I mean that'd be a different language. Yeah, I mean that's the better than anything I can come up with. I was trying to think of like lifting weights directions or something like bend your knees or something. But I think
it's like CrossFit.
Yeah, right. It's Orange Theory. Yeah. Do you want to do? Yeah, let's just go with that with yours with yoga, Bikram yoga.
Okay. Yeah, Bikram yoga.
Okay, I think this is the name of a yoga pose. Specifically, I'm not sure which one it's referring to, but it ended with I think shavasana, which is the word for pose, I think. So we're just going to pick a common pose and say it's downward facing dog.
That is correct on Ken's part. It is downward dog. So the word asana is referring to pose. So anything that ends in asana is a specific pose.
Kelsey's bringing the dog heat today.
I was going to say we should have went with the dog.
I promise this is my last dog-related question.
That was
been doing that bedroom yoga through the quarantine. So,
all right. Question number 6. The category is stupid movie plots. In I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, Carla, played by Brandy, receives a phone call from a radio DJ and wins a trip for 4 to the Bahamas by answering a question about the capital of a certain country. In a crazy twist, the DJ was the killer the whole time. Spoiler alert. They should have seen it coming, though, because Carla answered that geography question incorrectly. What country was she asked to name the capital of? And notably, the capital is only the 3rd largest city in that country.
All right, Matt. I saw the first I Know You Did Last Summer on a bootleg VHS in a person's living room, but I saw the second one in the theater, and I was a big Jennifer Love Hewitt fan, and I remember what the question was, so we can lock in.
I'd say was a big Jennifer Love Hewitt fan. I think you still are.
Guilty.
Jeff, I can't get this from the movie perspective, but if you know a country where the capital is the 3rd largest city.
It's not Germany. France. Sorry, just running through a bunch of countries.
This is going to be a guess, so let's just say Canada. Yeah,
probably a fool's errand. Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, this one, I remember when I saw the movie, it's kind of reminiscent of Scream when they ask who's the killer in Friday the 13th, and then Drew Barrymore says Jason, but it's Jason's mom, Pamela. Mm-hmm. And in this one, they ask, what is the capital of Brazil? And I, for one, can never remember the exact capital. Excuse me.
I think it's Brasilia, isn't it? Or something like that?
Maybe. I think she might say Rio de Janeiro. I can't remember.
Yeah.
No. Rio and Sao Paulo are both bigger, but it's definitely Brasilia.
All right. Yeah, you guys had all the information there. It is Brazil. She says Rio de Janeiro, but the actual capital is Brasilia, Brazil. Question number 7. The category is theater. The Eugene Trilogy is a set of 3 semi-autobiographical plays by Neil Simon that each reference a geographic location starting with the letter B. Name any 2 of those locations.
I think we talked about this in some respect on a previous episode. But Jeff, I can guess if you want.
That would be great. I don't know this at all.
Okay.
Yeah, so Neil Simon, he wrote a play about Yonkers.
Okay, not a B.
Not a B, but
a play called Bonkers would be fun.
Yeah, right. But there's the Neil Simon Theater in New York. A lot of New York history and whatnot. The Odd Couple. So I'm wondering if one of them is Bronx.
Or maybe Bronx and Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And
Boston,
Borough.
maybe, or Borough. Yeah.
I guess it's not a place specifically, but Bronx and Brooklyn are the 2 big ones over there.
I like
right?
that. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with those two.
I also guessed Bronx and Brooklyn.
You guys were on the right track. The 3 plays are Brighton Beach Memoirs, Brighton Beach being a neighborhood in Brooklyn, Biloxi Blues, and Broadway Bound.
Oh, Broadway. That's another one. Without knowing the plays, it's a lot harder, I admit.
All right, number 8. The category is dames. Fashion icon Leslie Lawson is more commonly known by what nickname which referenced her thin physique in her youth?
Jeff, I don't know this person at all. So, all right, we're guessing Slim Jim.
Slim Jim. So when you think of fashion icon with a thin physique, my first thought goes to Twiggy, former model and future host and judge on America's Next Top Model. So is that cool with you, Matt?
Yeah, I think there was also a Twiggy in Limp Bizkit, maybe. One of those bands. I can't remember now. Korn? I don't know. But you're probably right. Let's say Twiggy.
The answer is Twiggy.
All right, Neal.
Yeah, I've been watching America's Next Top Model with Colleen over again, so she's on a bunch of them.
Okay, question number 9. The category is podcasts. Jesse Thorne serves as the bailiff in the fictional courtroom of what podcast that adjudicates real but often meaningless disputes between friends and family?
Oh, man, I listen to a lot of Max Fun podcasts, and I'm pretty sure they advertise this one on there a lot, and I don't know if I'm going to remember it.
Should we say Mock Trial with Jay Reinhold?
Ooh, I love Mock Trial.
All right, Mock Trial.
And the William Hung jury.
We're going to say Mock Trial.
It's like what the marriage ref should have been. It's more or less. It's just but I'm not going to remember.
Well,
the
not
name.
a Tom Papa fan?
Not so much.
Have you ever dissed Tom Papa on your own podcast? I know I have.
Who is Tom Papa?
It's a comedian.
Oh, okay. And in Italy, is he Tom Papa?
I believe so.
Yeah, I have no idea, Matt. So whatever you say is definitely better than what I'm going to come up with.
Yeah, and we're not going to get there. So I don't know.
Let's say Chrissy's Court for the Chrissy Teigen new Quibi show where she is a judge.
No points. Matt was on the right track. This is a Maximum Fun Network podcast. It is Judge John Hodgman.
Yeah.
Starring comedian John Hodgman.
Oh, he's
I like John Hodgman. He's great.
Was he PC?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's funny.
The show's good. I listened to the Flophouse, and they promote it every single time in between their segments, and the name just was not coming to me. Sad.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. So if you've got extra time, which I'm guessing everyone does.
Listen to more of our episodes.
After you've listened to all of Triviality 3 times.
Yeah,
3 times.
play ours in mute on the background and then listen to...
3 is the magic number.
Yeah.
All right, so you may have noticed that every question this round has had some sort of alliterative element. We had Judge John, Leslie Lawson, Brighton Beach, Brasilia Brazil, Downward Dog, Oogie Urbina, Dirty Dancing, David Duchovny, and Sesame Seeds. So it makes sense that the last category is alliteration.
Oh. I did not notice, but now I did.
Maybe it would have helped.
That would have helped, yeah.
What HBO show that aired in the 2010s featured 4 main characters with alliterative names?
Okay, Matt and I discussed, and we went through a ton of different HBO shows, and we're not too sure, but we have a decent guess, so we're going to lock in.
All right, Jeff, this is not really my forte. Did you have something popping out to you?
Well, I was trying to go through all the HBO shows I know and stuff like The Wire, Sopranos, Game of Thrones. That all debuted before 2010s. I'm trying to think of
2010s.
True
what about
Detective.
something with like a family? Because if they all have the same last name, maybe they have alliterative first names.
Okay.
So maybe what's that one with John Goodman? Righteous Gemstones, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Succession is the other one.
Yeah. The other one, when you think of families, was Big Love. Was that an HBO one? Wasn't that?
Yeah,
that was the one with.
So. That one's a little early though for 2010s, I think. So.
Yeah, you're right. What
do you think? Succession? Righteous. Let's go Succession.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt and I had thrown a ton of options back and forth. I was trying to think of this show called Bored to Death, but I don't think that one is correct. And we just locked in with True Detective.
No points on this one. The show aired from 2012 to 2017, and the main characters were Shoshana Shapiro, Marnie Marie Michaels, Jessa Johansson, and Hannah Helene Horvath. And it was girls.
Oh, that was the first one I sent you.
I know it was. It sounded right, but
That's okay.
after regulation, it looks like Team Tenton Quarantino has 85, and Team Waiting for Macho has 110. Before we get the final categories from Kelsey, I just wanted to remind people that you can support us just like Kelsey at Patreon, which is at patreon.com/Triviality Podcast. And Matt, we have a lot of content that people can siphon through, right?
Yeah, for only $5 a month, you gain access to over 30 episodes of bonus content. Some
Immediately.
of them immediately. Yep. So if you've run through our entire catalog and you're like, I want more, well, it's right there, just at patreon.com/trivialitypod, and you can get all sorts of new episodes. So check it out.
Cool. Kelsey, what are our categories for today?
All right, the categories for the final round are unlikely hits, uncommon procedures, unlike the others, unsportsmanlike, and an unusual sentence.
All the wagers are locked in. Let's hear those questions, Kelsey.
All right, in unlikely hits. Which song by Pink Fong peaked at number 32 on the Billboard Hot 100 in January 2019, thanks in large part to its music video being viewed over 2 billion times on YouTube? In uncommon procedures, the surgery called an umbilicoplasty is a process by which what feature is physically changed or removed? In unlike the others, the top 100 peaks in the U.S. by elevation can be found in only 8 different states. Other than Alaska, which is the only state on that list that doesn't contain a part of the Cascades or a part of the Rockies. In unsportsmanlike, NFL rules allow for a game or part of a game to be replayed in the case of an unfair act, which is defined as a foul involving egregious rules violations. Though it's never actually been enacted, this clause was the grounds for a widely circulated petition to replay the last quarter of a 2019 playoff game between what 2 teams? And in an unusual sentence, there is a particular word that when repeated 8 times in a row forms a technically grammatically correct sentence due to its definitions as a U.S. city, an animal, and much less commonly a verb. What is that word?
Okay, we're going to take a few moments and we will be right back with our answers. All the answers are locked in, so let's hear those questions one more time and we'll give our answers.
Okay, the first one in unlikely hits. Which song by Pink Fong peaked at number 32 on the Billboard Hot 100 thanks to over 2 billion views on YouTube?
Yep. So we were thinking that's an absurd amount of views, and to get into that category solely on YouTube views, it's probably something kind of out there. So we went with Baby Shark. Do.
Yeah, and we also were trying to figure out what to do for an answer, and we also went Baby Shark.
The correct answer is Baby Shark. All right. In uncommon procedures, the surgery called an umbilicoplasty is a process by which what feature is physically changed or removed.
Despite popular belief, this is not the operation that Marilyn Manson had, that he didn't actually have. But we said this is belly button.
Yeah, we wagered 10 on this one, and we also said belly button.
It is belly button. I actually wrote this question because I had a friend of a friend that completely removed her belly button, so she just had a smooth tummy and kept her old belly button in a jar.
Oh,
I thought that was really gross.
Yeah, that's weird. Cool.
So,
by the way, we did 10s all the way down on this whole round. So,
all right. Unlike the others, the top 100 peaks in the U.S. by elevation can be found in only 8 different states. What is the only state on that list other than Alaska that doesn't contain a part of the Cascades or a part of the Rockies?
Yeah, we think the Cascades run down the west coast, and the Rockies are kind of in the middle. So Ken and I pretty quickly locked in Hawaii.
Yeah, we wagered 15 on this one. Don't know too much about geography. Matt originally said Hawaii. For some reason, I have no geographical knowledge. I said maybe Washington, and we just decided to go with Washington.
Yeah, Washington is on that list, but it does contain the Cascades. So it is Hawaii. The 8 states are Alaska, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, Wyoming, Washington, California, and Hawaii. Okay, unsportsmanlike. NFL rules allow for a game or part of a game to be replayed in the case of an unfair act. This was the clause for a widely circulated petition to replay the last quarter of a 2019 playoff game between what 2 teams?
We wagered 15 on this one. I was originally pushing for Saints Vikings because I remember that having a really crazy ending. But Neal was pretty sure that it was the Rams, and that kind of sounds right to me. So we locked in with Saints and Rams.
Yep. We wagered 10 on this one. I really wanted the Rams to win this game, and they did. It was very controversial, but I remember them defeating the Saints. So we said Saints-Rams.
Saints-Rams is correct. Okay, and lastly, an unusual sentence. What word, when repeated 8 times in a row, forms a technically grammatically correct sentence?
Yeah, we wagered 10 on this one, and we're pretty sure that the Buffalo of Buffalo bully other buffaloes from Buffalo, or however that works. We said Buffalo.
We also went with Buffalo.
It is Buffalo, 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 Buffalo.
After the final round, it looks like Tenton Quarantino is going to end with 135, and narrowly beating them is Waiting for Macho, Matt and myself, with 145, making us today's cream of the crop.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, very
Good job, fellas.
Good job. Great game, Kelsey.
Well, thank you.
Now, you've already teased that you're going to do an all-dog game, so it's been in my head the entire time like a treat in front of me.
I would be happy to do an all-dog game.
Well, it's funny because I posted on The Crop, where you can reach us at facebook.com/The Crop. That's probably not the right link, but whatever it is, you know where to find it. And I said that I was going to be writing a bunch of questions, and Kelsey did say write some dog questions. So I definitely have written like 5 to 6 dog questions that are coming up. So be on the lookout for more dog questions if you like that.
A lot
That's
of
a
dog
great
action
theme.
in the future. Get ready.
It's a dog world.
Yeah.
So Kelsey, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, or anything you'd like to tell us before we let you go?
Yeah, thanks to all of you guys. You make a great podcast, and I'm always happy to come on and hang out with you. And thanks to my playtesters, in particular, fellow crop top Dustin Resch, who actually lives only about 5 miles from me, but it took the Triviality meetup in Las Vegas to bring us together. And my best friend Joanna, who was the co-host on my college radio trivia show about a decade ago. And she's actually not that great at trivia, don't tell her, but she did listen to all my questions and give me some good feedback. So thanks to both of them.
Very nice. And I think we will work on those crop tops, right?
Yeah, we probably have to. Yeah, I mean the
Top
yeah,
crop
I know
tops.
Dustin really wants a crop top. So
Right.
The people want Dustin in a crop top. That's the more important thing.
I love it. Well, yeah, thank you very much, Kelsey, for writing this game and for hanging out. As always, we always enjoy your company. And once things get back to normal, we'll definitely have to take a little trip out to Denver, and you can show us around.
that would be great.
Appreciate all of your support as always. As we said a bunch of links there, but you know where to find us, as Matt said, at The Crop on Instagram and Facebook, at Triviality Pod, or at patreon.com/Triviality Podcast. For Kelsey, Matt, Ken, Jeff, my imaginary friends Horatio, Martha, and Frank, my name is Neal, and that was Triviality. See, and Brandy would have survived if she would have just been sitting up in her room.
Well, she should have known that boy was mine. Is that how that works? I don't know.